Good evening. Welcome to Soni Irabor Live. Well, tonight we'll be looking at Lagos, a big city, metropolis, and it's a state as well. Somebody said that Lagos is actually landlocked. No, Lagos is surrounded by huge amounts of water. It's the only lagoon in the whole wide world that there are no boats. Can go for a large stretch of, time and sea and water, and you will not see any boat. But we're beginning to see a stretch of it through, Ikorodu and Lagos Island from the Lagos Lagoon, okay? All right, but that's not what we're after. What we are after is, why is Lagos so beautiful and yet so dirty? That's a big problem. You see, shamelessly, people will go and, line up all the railings of the bridge and then they defecate. Gosh. Beyond that as well, you see a lot of people who just sit there, they pass by, they see dirty things, they see people putting all the dirt, but they don't do anything. They don't even stop them. Well, I have the environmental angels, and there are two of them here tonight, and we're going to talk about it very seriously. I used to wonder about it, but when I met my friend and colleague, Patrick Oke, and he drew my attention to it, I was quite surprised. Well, I'll tell you about Patrick Oke much later. Then, of course, there's Linda Uthman, a lady. So I have a gentleman and a lady. And we should normally start with ladies first, So welcome to the show. Well, you're so colorful. I can't imagine you looking at Lagos and feeling cool about Lagos.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. That is why, have to do something about it.
Mm.
It's really sad that this beautiful Lagos that has been given to us, excuse me, that has been given to us, is so run down now. It's run down. It's not a beautiful sight to behold, actually. It's polluted. It's it's I would like to use the word filthy. It's actually filthy.
Patrick, whose fault is it?
Well, the thing is, we are talking about the fifth largest economy in Africa. Lagos.
Fifth largest
economy in Africa. And we're talking about one of the founding cities in Africa. If you go to other countries, they are not normally just two state nations. In other words, you have the capital, they have another town in the whole country. If you go to Ivory Coast, after Abidjan, you have Yamoussoukro. If you go to Cameroon, after Yaoundé, you have Boa. Even in Ghana, after Accra, maybe you have Kumasi and in between. But most countries in Africa are two-state nations. But Nigeria is the plethora of cities. It's amazing.
Plenty of it, more than 36 actually.
Yes. Now, we know Abuja is already being structured to be nice. At one point, Abuja was one of the finest cities in Africa. I don't know if that still holds. Kigali in Rwanda is one of the most beautiful cities you can have because it is so green. People are conscious of how they keep their streets, of the environment. Then you come to Lagos and, a lot of infrastructure. Yeah, a lot of infrastructure. You go, now we have pretty much wide roads, 4 or 5 lane roads, and you're just streaming up and down the place. But you just veer off the main roads, and what you see is an eyesore. You begin to wonder if we are still a country within this moving world. And nobody is thinking about it. The thing is just there. People are walking around every day as if there's nothing wrong. There is a lot wrong.
Who is to blame?
Well, Linda has been talking about this. Who is to blame? It's not really who is to blame. It's who is conscious of it. Nigerians have been made not to be conscious of their environment. And that is why you see people can just walk all over the place. They sing all this
As
stuff.
if they're in a state of
And
denial.
yes, they see if they're in a state of stupor. They don't see it. I told Linda, I think the last program we had on radio, about 11 friends who came Australia from England, from America, came to visit. And they stayed with us in Lagos for a while. Then they went traveling to the east. And I said to myself, oh, you guys, you're lucky. You're going by road. So you're going to see a lot of the country. A week later, they were back in Lagos. And I just said,
dread what they might have
I just said to them, I said, now you have seen the country and you're lucky to have seen it. They said, yeah. And I said, okay, so what's your impression? And they say to me, well, not bad, but why are you people so comfortable with dirt?
Wow.
Good question.
Why are we so comfortable with dirt?
Because quite honestly, even
So
what
it's not just Lagos alone, that's what
of
you're
course
saying.
not. Once you leave Lagos, I mean, it's just a nightmare. It's a nightmare. You go, drive all the way from here to Benin. Anything you see on the road is like a dumping ground where they sell things. Everything is just...
But tell me, Linda, what is it with Nigerians that we cannot appreciate beauty? Because I remember so many years ago when they said, plant a tree or plant some grass between your fence and the gutter or the drainage, you know. What is it with us?
I really don't know. And what surprises me is that most of us are supposedly enlightened. We travel abroad. We see these things. So I don't know why we do not want to come back and try and replicate what we see, starting with our own little environment. We may say, okay, the government didn't do this and didn't do that, but what of us? We have to start with ourselves. In our own little environment where we find ourselves, do we keep it neat? Do we keep it clean? When we see people doing the wrong thing, like throwing something on the ground or urinating in the gutter, do we correct them?
That's a very serious
Do
one.
we
Urinating
do
in
that?
the gutter.
Because, you know, it's like it's the norm. It's the norm. You feel like easing yourself, you just stop by and you do it, and that is it. And nobody, you know, apprehends you, nobody does it. It's like, you know, it's taken for granted, it's fine. So we have to start with ourselves. And like I had said before, this actually starts from the family.
But is this our culture? Yeah, you know, the thing is, Soni, I asked myself, supposing a foreigner comes into Lagos, for example, and goes around the city, then goes back home, do you think after he goes around Lagos, he will still have any respect for anybody who lives in Lagos?
In fact.
You see, because the dirt is, you know, like there's when you are coming down from Lagos onto the mainland bridge, the mainland bridge, just that little median at Akpogmo, if you see the volume of dirt in that little median alone, you're wondering, people are living on the other side, across the road on both sides, and, well, hopefully, those who are responsible, government sees this. It's so terrible. And I'm just wondering, if foreigners come here, are they going to have still any respect for us? Because it's not just about, oh, the government didn't do it. What about us? What about the people who live there?
How would you feel comfortable with dirt?
No, this is, and as Linda brought some pictures from Lekki the other day, and what you see, people just throw stuff on the street. And after a while, it mounts up. And we know what pains me.
But there's supposed to be people who should collect them.
Yes.
From where they mound, you use the word
but
mound.
supposing they don't collect, all of you who are living around there, how come all of you are comfortable?
Exactly. You pay tax, don't you?
You forget tax. First of all, hygiene comes.
Yeah.
The hygiene comes. Well, we see.
So charity must begin from home.
When you travel abroad, as Linda was saying, when you travel abroad, our people go abroad. After 3 weeks, they come back and they want to go back abroad. They start, this feeling, oh, boy, it was nice, beautiful, and you ask them what was nice about it. So you should see the trees, you should see that, you should see this. So you see, order is attractive. No matter order, when you encounter order, you are generally attracted to it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's not something you even would be educated about.
But charity must begin from home.
Yes.
For example, you have streets in Lagos. In Ikoyi, there used to be a lot of trees those days. In Lekki, is a concrete jungle. Most houses don't have trees or even flowers.
Yeah, but you see, when the Lekki
They're supposed to have that.
See, when Lekki started, it was even nicer. People who give it to them, people who started settling in Lekki had a bit of, an eye for ambience. And so they kept the places clean. But when the deluge of people started to move in, everything just went haywire.
There's something we need, before we go on break, there's something I need for us to look at very critically. Yes, it's not government. So that means the people themselves need to examine themselves. What should they then do to make sure they don't fall into this kind of state of anarchy?
They're already in it. They're already in it because the average person is not even conscious.
That is it.
What
That's the problem.
Because a lot of the things we are talking about, some of the even heaps you see, those things can be cleared in 5 minutes.
It takes time to build up as well.
Exactly.
Yes, which means
it does.
If
you're actually conscious of it,
yeah,
and maybe you are in an environment or in a community or whatever, and the people there are conscious, a lot of those dirt can be cleared in 5 minutes. 10 people can clear all this rubbish in 5 minutes.
But where do they take them to?
That's not the issue now. The issue is
there's a lot of issues.
They'd be interested.
Yeah.
And if taking them anywhere won't be a problem, because, once they are interested in it, they say necessity is the mother of invention. They find where to take them. First of all, the people have to be conscious of the environment.
One.
Then, two, they have to be willing to understand that if individuals don't care, like they say, you're always waiting for someone to do something, then you find that there's nobody to do something everybody thought would do, And that's it. Everybody feels it's not their business.
Anyway, we're going to take a short break. Very soon, we'll be asking ourselves a lot of questions. Such questions as, what would I do if it were my own house? I put a mound of dirt at my front house, front gate, something of that nature. Or if it's something that you see somebody on the street or by the bridge, actually, defecating, doing things that are inimical to the normal common sense, Anyway, we'll be right back. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back. So I ask myself sometimes, what can make me a proud Lagosian? Or what can make me a proud owner of my house, my home? And people will come in, check my toilet, and find that the toilet is good enough and looks clean, smells good, and can stay on. But there are others who don't even have such places to stay. The question is, what do we do to ourselves, that will make us look at other countries, behave well, obey their laws and rules and regulations, and come back? Linda, you said so earlier that when they come back, they go back as if nothing happened. I don't know which one of you said it, but then,
No, I don't know.
How do we manage this kind of unfortunate scenario?
Like I said, we have to start with ourselves. We actually have to decide that, we want this clean environment. We don't have to be Switzerland, but at least we owe it to ourselves to have a clean and healthy environment where the air we breathe is at least, you know, good.
As a
It
very
doesn't
big
have
one,
to be
the air we
polluted.
breathe.
Because apart from the fact that we are dealing with waste and all, then we have the polluted air from the buses, that the engines that I don't know what, and you know, so you're there with the waste and everything. You're now inhaling air, you know, polluted air. I mean, how do we go on? And sorry to say that, for me, what I feel is that, as far as I'm concerned, yes, I'm sorry if the very wealthy people feel offended. But the truth is that as far as you and I live in this country and live in this situation, we are poor mentally. Because we are there with the poor people inside this waste, inhaling that same air, whether you like it or not, and in that same environment. So we are poor in our thinking. We are poor mentally. So we need to do something about it. If we have the means of building beautiful boutiques and beautiful infrastructure, and we think that, you know what, it doesn't matter because, you know, I'm in my beautiful space. Sorry. You step out and your environment is so filthy and dirty. It doesn't even tally. Your beautiful environment, but, you know, I mean, your beautiful space. But you come out, your environment is dirty, is smelling, it doesn't make sense.
As she was talking, my mind was, it was so picturesque what you were saying. Because my mind was now looking at Nollywood movies. You know, you see fine houses, live at palace grounds, and it's right next in front of you, the mound of...
I have some friends who came in. They were like, you know, just visiting from America. And we went to the east, we traveled all around. I would go to, was it to Minode or Saba? And he says to me, no, Patrick, I have to stop. And I said, why? He said, no. This is just not it. And I said, what? He said, just wait. So he got out of the car. There was this massive, beautiful building. They're nicely done. And right behind it was a terrible hut with dirt and all over the place. He says, how can this be happening
Contrast.
in the country? Now, a BBC reporter also went to Abuja, you know, shot all the places, Metama and everything. Then went straight to the village behind Metama to see the dirt and how people were living there. You see, people find this contrast with our country difficult to take. We had a set of musicians come to Nigeria one time, and they were going to house them in a hotel in Surulere. So I said, no. They must be housed in Federal Palace then. They called it in, and we had this argument. Anyway, eventually they agreed with me. So I housed them in Federal Palace on the 7th floor. And the next day, when I came to see them, was that, Patrick, do you see what I've seen? I said, what happened? He said, I opened the window, and I looked down the water line, and there were people pooping. You see? And there were people in there. And when they got back, that was the only thing they remembered. So next time they said...
Bad news sells.
Yes. Anyway, let me just tell you this joke. So there was this talk about, you know, when you see Nigerian and many of these things happen. So the joke was that Obasanjo now visited the U.S. and they were coming from the airport. So when he looked in the distance, he saw somebody pooping in the distance. So he called the attention.
Your language.
We
have to say that.
So Obasanjo said, you people, you come to my country and you come and laugh at me. Look over there.
That must be Nigeria.
Then the security guy stopped. You know, the leader of the entourage stopped. They sent the security people to go and get the guy.
Oops.
Yes. So they went and brought the guy. Immediately the guy saw Obasanjo say, oh, Mama Kelesa.
Oh my goodness.
So you can take a man from the bush. You can't take the bush away from him.
Of the man.
I think that basically what we have here is the bush is still in many of us. Sorry to say. And this shows in the way we we treat our environment, we treat all this stuff. That's why we're so comfortable. We don't mind.
There's something that bothers me from what you said now. I wonder how others look at us, Nigerians, and us blacks. I'm sorry. Some of us, the way we carry ourselves, the way we even speak, and the way we do things, is a bit injurious to one's thought about how we should feel.
It's a bit scary.
I was in again, this is unfortunate, but I flew in from Nairobi to Lagos, and that flight was noisy.
Nigerians were there.
And then people were just behaving anyhow. So, and the women were visibly upset. I mean, the air hostesses.
No, normally when the flight is coming to Nigeria, they designate that flight as a special flight.
Say that again?
They designate the flight coming to Nigeria as a special flight.
Oops.
So they put people who can tolerate a lot there. You know, they say it at the airport. Say, oh, you're going to Nigeria. Oh, it's a special flight. You know what I'm saying? So listen, the thing is, yes, we beat ourselves. But the point is, see, at one point in our history, we had order. There was order. If you see Carter Bridge in 1940, you won't believe it's
1940s?
1940.
You weren't born there.
No, I say if you see. I didn't say if you were there. I said if you see pictures of Carter Bridge in 1940, you will never even believe that it's Nigeria. 1940. See Carter Bridge, there was so much order. All the motorcycles and bicycles were on one side, and the cars on the other, all in perfect harmony and line.
So what happened?
You see, the thing is,
were we not still
let's talk about this
Rome?
colonial experience, because everybody says, oh, when you do this, you're colonial. When you do this, why do we always throw away the water, what they do with the baby with bath water? You see, you take what is good, and you discard what is not good. When they had this whole place, was nicely lined up. Lagos was a much more beautiful place. You know, in 1974, when we used to go to Ikoyi Club and all that, on that road, we used to walk on it with pleasure and joy.
Well, there was once upon Ikoyi Park.
Yes.
You know, with aquaria.
That has become a crocodile park now.
Yes. But come to think of it, let's, on a more serious note, there is a system. There are people, you know, who are empowered to live within and above some of these, you know, problems that we encounter. But are there no people who are responsible for maintaining those scenarios, for example?
Linda, you said something about having to meet your local government chairman.
Oh, yes, Lekki local. The previous one, I can't really remember his name, but he was quite, you know, he was quite active. And, you know, I would send him messages that, look, I have seen this, because I take my walks on that Duro Semieti. So I would say, look, I see heaps of garbage here. And he was quite, you know, responsive. The new one, unfortunately, nothing, you know. But like I said, it's also, you know, we too have to start doing something. Because that is, you know, if we're going to keep waiting for these people.
My own is this. Sorry, my observation is this. It has to be reciprocal. Public toilets must be made available. There should also be, I think there's LOMA now, which is Waste Management Agency, which is very good, because where we live, I think they all come very early, about sometime between 5 and 6 a.m. to clear the debris and take things away. That's fine. But it should continue everywhere.
Now, the thing is, if you look, it's not a question of sometimes maybe LOMA not evacuating. It has to do with the dirty habits of our people.
Exactly.
Yeah, that goes a long way.
You know,
that goes a very long way.
If you live in a community, for example, and you are conscious of the environment, there's a lot you can do within the community that will make the place livable.
Right.
You know, but when everybody goes about as if they're not interested, in fact, see, you can't give what you don't have. You understand me? If there's no consciousness of anything other in you, as they say, as within, so without. It's like we are lacking order within, and that is showing in what we do outside. That's why we don't care. I mean, you say you can't.
Well, how can we instill that care
So this
in
is
us?
what some of what Linda and us
Yes.
in Environmental Angels are trying to make people conscious that first of all they have to be concerned about the environment.
Yes.
You cannot wait for government to come and clean your place for you. In in those days they had what you call those people public health inspectors. In the villages,
Sanitary
inspectors. They used to go from even in the villages from house to house. I know when we're growing up, it was
And
such a thing.
there were those that refused to even take bribes.
Yes, now
Yeah.
there was those that the days before they came, it was like, they are coming on Saturday.
Yes.
So everybody's clean up this, clean up that, clean up. And when they leave, you find it difficult to continue with the dirt because they might come. So that's when we were conscious of our environment.
Added to what you just said, there also was a time we had environmental sanitation.
Saturday, yes,
exercise.
environmental
So
day.
you guys are environmental angels.
Yeah, but the
Yes.
thing is, short of that Saturday cleaning, what we want is people to have that consciousness every day, not just on a Saturday. Let's be concerned about our
Every day.
environment because there's no way you can, if you go abroad, what is a country? Is a country the houses you see? The country
people.
are the public places.
Yeah.
Public spaces, the
Yeah.
streets, the parks, the roundabouts, you know.
And you feel comfortable.
Yes, and then
moving
that
around,
is
walking.
what you regard as the town. So, public spaces are very important. Here, every public space
Because of
is
what
either
you
you
just
see a
said.
POS operator,
Right.
or you see a vulcanizer,
All
or you
the
see somebody
barbing,
now, or
barbing,
people that are barbing,
salon.
any public space is now
Yes,
occupying,
or selling
and then
food
people
or
are
what.
sleeping on the streets, lying everywhere.
Oh, the sleeping streets, I think they have, I think they've cleared them now because I've not been seeing
Now,
them. They've
there's
cleared.
still some on the bridge.
Oh, no, but
Yes.
at Durosimieti, I've
They've
not
cleared.
seen. Yeah, they've
Okay,
And
you
then
know
cleared.
the
just-
environment. Yes.
Yes, there's still some on the bridge.
Yeah.
If you go to, maybe you're on that bridge going to Dolphin, you see them on the street.
Could this have to do with urbanization
No,
and
no.
overpopulation? Because Lagos is, well, I checked the Google, it was saying 18 million, but we, from unofficial sources, says 20 or 22 million
It should be
people.
because
It's actually one of the
If you
Yeah.
go
biggest
to
cities in the world.
Mexico,
Sorry?
Mexico
Yeah.
City,
Yeah.
do you know what the population is?
What?
That I think 60% of Mexicans are in Mexico City.
Ooh,
It's a large place. The population is
huge.
awesome, but does that make it dirty?
No.
Now,
Well,
people
Mexico
also
has a questionable character
No,
about this, but
they say, for example, that, because it's of some, pervasive poverty. Poverty does not mean dirtiness. If you go to the Caribbean, the country like Jamaica and Barbados and so on, they're not very rich.
but America is complaining now. Houston,
It's getting to be like that.
yeah, and somewhere in
Washington,
Canada,
even
another place.
Donald
New York.
Trump had to go in Washington and
New
say
York.
to them, we can't have this. We can't have people lying about and then or
yeah,
attacking
in
him.
New York.
There must be some ambience in the city. What do you want the ones growing up to look up to?
What
Because
what are you
that's
proud
what they
of?
are going to, this
Yeah.
is what they're going to inherit, this dirty
what do you want
culture.
them to look up to? What will be decent about a city or a dwelling that young people will come and say, oh yes, when I grow up, I want to. What are you offering?
Back home,
Yes.
some drainages, you see some people, some houses opening their sewage into the drain.
Because there is no deterrence. Is there anybody monitoring? You see, most of what we're talking about, because there is no deterrence. Because the people who are the keepers, they keep saying, who will watch the watchman?
Who will police the police?
Yes, now.
I like
Who will watch the watchman?
Ah.
The people who have the task of doing this stuff, they don't have it inside. You know, to them, it's just a job.
Yes.
And, you know, it depends on how convinced they are that this is necessary. So nobody will go out of their way to do anything. So we have a problem. It's from the mind. Somehow, we have to get this thought into the mind of people that safeguarding your environment is as important as breathing.
Yes, very important.
How can we convince the people?
Very important. I don't know.
How can we convince the people, you know, to be responsible for their own action? For example, Linda, I'm asking you now, for example, if you see a woman or a lady who is hard-pressed and needs to obey the force of nature, laws of nature, what kind of advice would you give?
Well, I would advise her. Thankfully, there's some, I think we have eateries around.
Okay.
You can go into an eatery
Can even go
or
to
to a hospital.
Yeah.
Go into the bank or somewhere, you know.
In fact, I was once
because
present. I had to go to the petrol station.
Yes.
And they were kind enough, but maybe because they saw who I was or something like that.
Because that does
They
not
actually helped me.
give you an excuse to just on the road. I mean, because it's so, I don't even understand. You will see supposedly big men on that street stop their cars and just go to the canal and ease themselves.
What about those who ease themselves on the bridge itself? I accounted.
And I'm like, you know, but you are the people that go abroad. You don't do this when you go abroad. Why should you come? So why should you come and do this here?
Because there's no deterrent.
Why should you come
There's
and
no
do this here?
You know, sorry to interrupt you. I saw this Okada guy. He was going on the bridge, stops right in the middle, into the corner, came out, and just started, you know, urinating. So I says to him, excuse me, is that your toilet? You know, when I first asked him, he seemed bothered a little bit. And I repeated the question. I said, is that your toilet? You shouldn't be doing this. And all of a sudden, it's like he picked up courage and says to me, is it your house? No, this is not your house. You know, this is not your house. So you see it. People don't have any respect for public space.
Because nobody questions.
And there's nobody to punish if somebody is sick.
Deterrent.
Nobody to punish. So everybody does what they like. Lagos is getting to be a very terrible jungle. Have you seen the under bridge at Ijora recently? Just go there and see. It has become one. That water after the stadium. Do you know that if it is the country where the rich people are civilized, that could be a beautiful water sport center. They could make the place so nicely that you go on a boat ride on Sundays. There'll be little, you know, tents around the place. But go and see it.
What you said brought to my mind a recent development. You know, the National Theatre, beautiful edifice. Apparently, some, you know, nice-minded people thought, let's revive such a beautiful edifice. And so they cleaned it up, lit it up. In fact, at night when you're going, you see so beautiful. But in the daytime, in the night, people go and they litter the place with all kinds of, you know, feces.
Yeah, the point is people...
And I think they now have to bring some military into the place.
Yeah, because people decided to retrieve it and put some money in it.
It was like a vengeance thing.
Yes, which is fine. Why didn't they get enough security to safeguard what they were trying to do?
No, but why did the people decide to see such beauty and deface it?
As I said before, as within, so without. People don't have inside them. They can't even appreciate anything that is beautiful to start with. Just like they say now, son, if you want to know the kind of person you are, all you need is to spend the whole day in your room. Don't go anywhere. Just spend the whole day in your room. At the end of that day, you know who you are.
I like that.
Yeah, because you see whether everything there is in order or is in shambles. Or whether you cared how the television stood or not. Whether you cared where you put the cup or not. You will know who you are. So you see, it's as within, so without. There is no consciousness of any appreciation of aesthetics. You know, and so this is what we want to do as environmental angels, to make everybody conscious that all of us have a stake in this. You know, all of us can't be going out of Lagos and say, oh, where are you from? And you say Lagos. I was there. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you pose, you can wear the best clothes. You know, people like dressing, you know.
That is
wear
it.
the best clothes, put the most expensive hair, shake it and make it like this, as if it's your own.
That's another issue.
Yes,
We're going to do a program on women's hair.
Yes, women's hair, because that gets me. And I say to our women, when you go to an international conference and you make a speech and you are wearing white people's hair, how do you think any white woman in that place is going to look at you? You know, imitation is the highest form of flattery. When people see...
Linda, don't worry. We know you're wearing Oyinbo name.
So you are wearing Oyibo hair, and then you go to an Oyibo conference, and they look at you, and they're just smiling, but deep in their heart, they want to be like us.
What does it tell of an average black person? Let's really take it down to race now. What will it tell of us if all we actually do? I mean, before now, before the colonial people came, Africans were different.
That's what you think?
Yes, I think they respected certain qualities about them. There was the outhouse. Whatever you needed to do, you go outhouse. You go and do it.
Yes, definitely.
You know.
Because if you don't, it will smell in the main house.
But in the house, in the environment that you develop, you clean it up.
Yes.
You don't just leave it like that, like marketplaces.
Yes.
You know.
And then people in the village work with one mind. They pass in your compound, for example,
they work with
and you know, because you see people would pass, so you know you can't just. They work with.
So there's a hierarchy.
Yeah, yes.
There's orderliness. So what
we've lost is the sense of orderliness. We've lost that. You know, young people are waiting for things that have been built, and this is why I keep saying every young person now wants to Jakpa. They want to go to where other young people.
But there's been some complaints already.
Yeah.
That wherever you, even Canada is complaining very seriously now in some parts of Canada where...
But even look at this, and what I'm trying to say is young people who built those countries. If you look at the making of America, it's young people that built America. The average age of the soldier in Dunkirk, in Germany, was 19. These young people fought for their countries. They sacrificed for their countries. They built their countries. Now they've built it with their sweat. Then you, who has abandoned everything to do with your country, you want to run there and go and enjoy what their sweat has done.
We'll take a short break.
Yes.
Take a short break. And then after that, we'll now conclude. You tell us more about the environmental angels and what, I still want answers to what are we, the black people, not doing right. We'll be right back after the break. Environmental angels, that's who they are. But who isn't an environmental angel? I am one. I'd like to be one. You know, so the idea really is, what can you do from your immediate environment before you spread it to others, so that when they look at the way you live, they want to live like you? Wouldn't I? That's the right way to say it, right?
Yes, I think, yes. I mean, we have to live by example, basically. So, I mean, there are little things that we can do. You see somebody throwing something on the way, you can tell the person, you need to pick it up. It's not proper. I have done that severally, so it's not that I'm just saying so. I saw a young man, which day was it? I mean, he stopped his car and he was you know, going to ease himself, and he went. And I was looking at him, And he looked at me, and I said, really? Really? And I said, this is not proper, you know. And, you know, I could see he was a bit ashamed. Another one I saw, let me say, and this will be a father of a household, stopped his car, and then he was looking at me, I was looking at him, and, you know, he wasn't sure whether to, because he knew I was looking at him, and then he had no choice but to, you know, go, and I really said, really again? I said, really? And he did like this, you know. Like this, you know.
What can I do?
You know, but these are little things that we can do.
Exactly.
I saw somebody throw something on the ground somewhere, and I said, you need to pick this up. This is not proper. Another little boy weaving in the gutter, I could have left him and said, well, you know, they usually, but I said, you know, this thing you're doing is not good. You need to stop. And he said, thank you. Or the lady I saw going to ease herself, and I said, madam, this thing is not good now. Your child is looking at you now. And she said, thank you. So we need to start doing something. Little by little, we will get
This is what they say that
environmental angels, please.
Yes, that evil only thrives when the good people refuse to do something.
Say that again.
Yes.
Evil only thrives when the good people refuse to do something. So in a place where evil has won, that means there are no good people. You see, the thing is, like Linda is saying, if all of us would do this, everything we see, we say. One of the reasons Lagos is degenerating so hard is that nobody is talking. Some, you know, what is this? These small bus drivers. They come and just take, you know, overtake you anyhow, and they have no qualms about, no apology, nothing. And nobody says anything, so they keep doing it.
You should not break the law.
Yeah, but who is to enforce it? You see policemen, they will do it right in front of policemen, and nobody will do something. So if we are quiet about everything, then that is one road to disaster. So what
there used to be a law called citizens arrest.
Arrest, yes, that is very essential. But you can't try that. They will beat you up and nothing will happen.
You are encouraging them by saying they will beat you up.
Yeah, but that's what they will do. See, what we are saying is that let everybody be conscious. Let everybody be not apathetic. That is, don't get used to dirt. If you are living in a community, no matter where it is, you see dirt, go to the people who are supposed to do it, point it out. If not, organize people and go and clear it. A lot of the things you see that make every place so terrible can be cleared in 10 minutes. If people around there are just concerned enough about it.
So what should the environmental
angel, our job is to sensitize people, to say, look, your environment is as good as your life. Look after it. And your environment says a lot about who you are. You are looking for international respect. You want to be respected when you go to Ghana, when you go to this, when you go. And when they come to your country, they see what they see. What kind of respect do you think they would have?
Apart from that, when you even go there, you mess up their own place.
So you
become a suspect.
See, the thing is, we need to create an awareness. That's what the environmental angels try to do. To create an awareness that everyone is at war in this thing. No matter who you are at war. Be concerned about your environment. Later on, we're going to meet, form pressure groups. We're going to see governors. We're going to see local government chairmen. We're going to go around. We're going to have a lot of jingles on air, radio, television, newspapers, you know. And eventually, if we prosper, we're going to appoint environmental angels in practically every area. An environmental angel's job will be to see, you know, flagrant violations of the environment and report it to the authorities there and make sure something is done about it. If it's not, you bring it up, we can take it up at the highest level. And if there's something we can do about it, some of us can put resources together, hire a truck and hire people and go there and clear it. We've gotten to that stage.
Lagos used to have something called Kai.
Yes, Y and Kai.
Yes, there was Y in Buhari Diabo's time. And Kai was started by Tinubu's governorship government.
Yes,
and then follow. I think it's still in existence.
No, I don't know because
Well,
if it
yes, it
is,
You see, they are talking
No,
about
I don't
still
know.
government bodies. We're talking about
No,
individuals.
I'm saying this in the sense that because it creates awareness, and Kai means even the name Kai itself. Kai.
Kai will run.
You immediately
But
become
they're
self-conscious and you run
they're
away.
supposed to, if they are there, I don't know, because
Well,
nobody is doing
It's
anything.
our
There's
job.
Nobody is.
It's our job as environmental angels to go there and remind them that, look, this is what's supposed to be done. What are you doing about this? What are you doing about that? So it's not just people who should also wake up the institution that are meant to. And for example, we have Ministry of Environment, for crying out loud. We have Ministry of Environment. So
Well, you're doing their job for them, so it's good. So they will appreciate you for it.
anybody,
But I'd like
any
to,
citizen
Yeah.
has to help the government.
at this stage,
Yes.
I have to
Now, that's
also,
what we're going to do.
yes, I have
So
to,
just let me tell you, environmental angels, we're looking for those who will come to us and support us. We're looking for a national meeting one day, or first of all, we start with Lagos State. We want like-minded people who are concerned about the environment, want a meeting, like a town hall
Concerned
meeting
and
with
committed.
everybody. Then everybody signs up, and then we start something.
all right. So we've had serious talk here because we just wanted to create awareness, also sensitize your mind about this whole thing, because however way you might look at it, Lagos is your home, but your house is your home as well. So start from somewhere. Charity must begin from home. And we've had Linda Uthman. Please, what do you do?
Hey, that
Shame on me. Wait
we
now,
want
wait,
you
wait.
to-
I beg
she
you.
would spend
Please,
all
let me say
night
it.
telling you because
Let
she
me
has
just
done
say
a lot.
basically, I'm
Sorry,
an
sorry.
educationist.
Educationist.
Yes.
I needed to get that right.
Okay.
Patrick,
You want to ask me what I do?
media consultant
Yes,
and documentary expert.
yes.
And now you're creating awareness for making Lagos clean,
Yes.
among others.
Yes, and also I'm a trainer in persuasive communication.
Trainer in persuasive. I
Communication.
love that. Communication, you see. And me, I'm paid to talk. So I've had great minds. We know that it's very important that you must keep your environment clean. And I'm telling you honestly, if we don't do that, nobody else will do it for you. Let's start from somewhere. Good night, everyone.